Hello, this is Herb Keener with Keys to Living, and we're here today. I have taken 3 months off, and this is my first day back, and we're going to start a new procedure coming weeks. Today, I have Moses Medina here, who is a USC Construction. He's a general contractor who I'm associated with. And today he's going to tell you how he ended up where he's at, his goals and where he was headed. And the other thing is, today we're going to mainly deal with his history of how he got to where he is now and what he's doing. So I would like for you to go to YouTube and Central Valley Talk and type in Moses. And it'll come up, and him and Mike Briggs, he interviewed him, and he laid out the plans and what he's going to do and what he does. So that would be a place to be informed of what he does and how he does it. Today, we're mainly going to deal with his personality and the reasoning for what he's doing. And we will be covering some of the work that he does. Now, right now, I want you to take a look at herbkeener.com and order that book that says Decision to Die, Strength to Live. Now, that's my life story. I'm 82 years old, and somebody should listen to something because at that age, it seems like you ought to know a little bit. I mean, I really don't know what to do, to be honest with you. But here's something I can do. I know what not to do because I done a lot of that during my lifetime. I done a lot of things, bad decisions, stupid things. And so by now, again, like I say, I don't know what to do, but I definitely know what not to do. So I'm here and going to be here every other week until Jesus calls me home. Hopefully Mike's going to put up with me that long. But we got it together, and we're looking forward to uplifting you. And we're not going to get into the depression state stuff. We're going to get into what brings life into you. Not about anybody else, just you. And that's why we're talking personally today with Moses. And give a feel on what he stands for, his integrity and his way of doing things. And you'll find that it'd be a blessing dealing with somebody that you can trust and someone that you can be able to speak to and get an honest answer for. And that's what I appreciate about Moses, is the fact that when you ask him a question, he don't hem-haw around, he answers it. And if you'll look at that interview with Mike Briggs and Moses, you'll see what I'm talking about. He's a man of integrity, and I'm blessed to be associated with him. So today we're just going to be looking at that. And we now begin a new segment for Keys to Living. 2 weeks from now, I'm going to do a sermon here, and it's all about when is it time to give up or quit. And you'll find that out in 2 weeks. Because number one, there's a difference between existing and living. When you're living and doing things and look forward to and enjoying this life, that's living. Loving, caring, compassion. Now, when you think everybody's against you and your own family cuts you loose, like me, it's hard to get out of a depression state. But I can tell you this for sure. There's other people in this world that are ready to love you, and you love them, and you can have a blessed life. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter how much you don't have. Doesn't matter where you live and what neighborhood you're in. It depends on you. Because if you're not living, you're doing the WTD. waiting to die. That is existing. So that's all I'm going to give you on that one. And now we're going to take a small break, and then I'm going to bring Moses over, and we're going to have him tell you how he got involved in what he's doing and how he's going to do it. God bless. See you in a moment.
Gained a lot, learned a lot, and got a lot of love. If it weren't for the knowledge that I had gained from the classes at PCC, I probably wouldn't be the mom I am today. See, there it goes.
I would love you to meet my son Aaron. My situation was very difficult. I didn't know how my life was going to turn out.
We graduated in June 2010 and we got married in July. And through family, the Pregnancy Care Center changed our lives.
The Pregnancy Care Center was a huge, vital part in helping me walk through that pregnancy, in educating me and loving on me during that time.
Sometimes good intentions hurt rather than help. For just $1.76 per meal, the Fresno Rescue Mission offers more than food. We offer hope. Please donate today.
Back again. Now we are here with Moses, and he is from URC Construction, a general contractor. So today we're going to talk about how he got involved in what he's doing, how just about his life. So I guarantee you, you'll be well informed when this is over. So Moses, welcome, and tell them what you know.
Thanks for having me here. Well, one of the first things that you had asked me when we had first, got to talk and everything like that is, why I wanted to go ahead and, just be my own boss, as it were, and just be a general contractor, have a construction company. And I guess one of the things that motivated me is I've always wanted to help people. I think back to where when I was younger, when I was a kid, I always looked up to, superheroes like Superman. I always wanted to be that Superman. Then once I got into teenage years, I started, watching a bunch of war movies, Saving Private Ryan. I wanted to be that guy that would carry the injured, wounded man across the beach, get me a Purple Heart, all that good stuff. Well, I joined the Army as soon as I could. I wasn't even out of high school yet. I was 18 years old. And really, I just wanted to make a difference. I wanted to help people in need, from what I knew, as far as the military, was that you go out there and you rid the world of evil and you save good people. So I joined, and being in Iraq when I was over there, it wasn't quite the way Hollywood put it out there that it's going to be.
Yes.
But what I did see is I didn't see people to hate or be angry with. I just saw regular old people just like here, just trying to get to work, just trying to take their kids to school, just trying to pay their bills, everything like that. Just regular old people, not anything that you might have heard on TV or the news or Hollywood, anything like that, and just good people. And I did that for a while, came back, and so I started working in construction in 2014 on behalf of another construction company.
Right. Yeah.
And one of my favorite things about interacting with people was just being able to get to know everybody on an individual basis.
Right. Yes.
Everybody has a unique story and their own unique challenges. So it's really a treat for me to be able to just meet people from all walks of life, just kind of hear about what their goals are. Well, first off, we start off with the project,
Yes.
that they're wanting to remodel, maybe bring down a tub into a lower threshold shower head, something to get into. We get to talking about, basically how they got there, their house, and everything
Yes.
like that. And it's a real treat. You really form bonds with people that, or at least I never would have come across if it hadn't have been for this line of work. It's really a blessing.
But did when you went to Nam now? Did
Iraq.
Iraq.
I'm a little too young for
Oh,
Nam.
yeah, I'm the Nam. I'm the Nam.
You're
guy.
the Nam. I'm Iraq.
But anyway, when you went to Iraq, was you disillusioned with the hero thing?
I was, because, growing up, I'd watched, soldiers storming across the beaches of Normandy.
Right. Yeah.
Just, that scene where they're, rescuing the family from the broken down house and all
Yes.
this. And when I got over there, we were signed up as tower guards. So we just had to sit in the tower and just watch and stare out, and that's pretty much it. Our job was to keep, people that shouldn't be trespassing onto the base and doing all sorts of bad things.
Did you have guns?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You
Of
had
course.
You had the enforcer.
Oh, yeah. I had the
Yeah.
50 cal and all that, but
Oh.
thank God never needed to use it.
Yeah, that's good.
But what disillusioned me was I didn't get to do any of the things that I wanted to do as far as saving lives, helping people, that sort of thing. So when I came back, and I feel like this is why I've always wanted to go back in all these years later, is because I feel like I never got to do what God had intended me to.
Right. Yes.
All my life, I felt like I'm supposed to serve a higher power. I'm supposed
Right.
to make a difference, to help people, that sort of thing.
And that's how you got disillusioned. You got over there and said,
Yeah, I mean,
it was just business as usual.
Yeah, I didn't get to save any lives. I didn't get to, go and be a hero or anything like that. So now I feel like that translates over into what I do now.
Right.
Is that I try to help people as much as possible, and even in the situations, you're never going to be the right fit for everybody.
Absolutely.
If you own a business, there's a certain niche that you do, kind of your specialty kind of thing. It's like they say, the guy that says he's jack of all trades is never going to be, an expert at this one thing.
Right.
That's why in the military they have MOSs. You've got your infantryman and your tank driver and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, my point is that sometimes I'll walk into situations to where, maybe I'm not the best fit for this particular customer or what have you.
Right.
But I don't get mad and storm off or do any of the things that I hear from time to time. What I'll do is I'll sit there with them and I'll try to help them achieve their goals, even though they have nothing to do with me. Just this morning, I was talking to a lady, that she had a certain budget and a small number of things that she wanted to do to her house, and we just weren't the right fit. So what I did is I took her over to the kitchen and I talked to her about the type of people that she needs to contact. I took her online, showed her how she needs to how she can get a hold of them.
Good.
And I even told her the proper way, the safest way to get about getting her project done without getting taken advantage of.
There you go.
She took notes. I gave her pictures, the links, everything like that. And I'm happy to do it because for me, it's more about doing right by people.
It's part of your goal of doing what's right, even though it didn't benefit you.
No, and in a way, honestly, I do get a sense of satisfaction from helping people.
Yes.
I guess a little hit of euphoria on the way home, and it just helps me sleep better at night knowing I've done something to benefit others. And I try to do that any opportunity that I can, both in business and my personal life.
Right.
So.
Well, that's the exciting part. But what you learned in Iraq, has that helped you since you've been back? No.
Well, it's helped me in terms of being able to talk to people,
Right.
sharing experiences and things like that. One of the things about interacting with the public is people want to work with somebody that they can trust, somebody that they can relate to. And a young guy that ain't never been nowhere, I mean, he's not going to be very relatable. But
No.
on the other hand, a lot of times with veterans and things like that, we can share experiences and things like that. And even people that believe in a higher power, we just talk about what we were put on here to do. And,
Right.
and you get a sense of people that think the right way, and by the right way I mean that they're on the same page as you as far as the way one should conduct themselves in business and
Right.
personal life. And I really enjoy working with those people because for me they're more than just a customer. They're Tim or Shelley or they're
Their actual names and who they are. Yeah.
yeah, and it's not uncommon for me to give my customers my personal phone number. I mean, they can call me on a Saturday, on a Sunday. I may be waist deep in water, with a fishing pole in my hand. I've gotten a ring on my cell phone. Somebody over in Merced that really needed to get this Roman tub filled. A Roman tub is when you got them old showers that they sink in about a foot deep, and they're really dangerous to get in and out of, especially when it's tile. You got the floor all wet. And it was a Saturday, and her name was Brandy. She had called me, and I had a fishing pole in my hand, and she this is the only time she could get together and get it done. And I said, all right, just give me about 45 minutes. I'm in Fresno. Put my fishing pole away, put my tackle box away, all that. Headed right over to Merced, and just we got it done. I don't mind going the extra mile to help people, to accommodate people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Have you run across those that you've done that for and they just were not appreciative at all?
I feel like I could have.
Yeah.
It's very seldom with me personally that happens, although I do hear about it. And here's why. I have had situations to where sometimes people, like you said, they won't be appreciative or what have you, but I'm a person that thinks that deep down inside we're all good people.
Right.
And if somebody is coming off a certain way or what have you, rude or
right,
or that sort of thing, more than likely it's got nothing to do with you. They've got something going on that's that's, causing them heck. They've got something on their mind that's bothering them, something that, it's just not going well for them.
Right. Real personal and deep down inside.
Yeah, and when I come across something,
It doesn't be about model anymore, the project, it's,
Right.
I try to talk to them and just give them a lending
There you
ear,
go. Yes.
talk to them and see if there's any advice I can give them maybe to, help them with their situation, even though it may have nothing to do with the project. But then eventually we do move on back to the project, since that
Yes.
falls somewhere in the list of priorities.
But yeah, I always look at the human aspect of it. We're all God's children. And we all go through our own journeys.
Some of us harder than others.
Yes, and that's one thing that I've had to learn to appreciate.
Right.
Is I heard you talking earlier about the depressive state and everything like
Yeah.
that. A lot of us do go through here in the U.S. I've gone through things time to time, but then once I'm done, I kind of step back, and I'm grateful. I'm appreciative.
Right.
We really are blessed to live in this country,
Right.
the United
And
States.
in that depressive state, we say and do things stupid and crazy, but when we come out the other end, we learn something.
Right.
There's a stronger ability to be with more integrity.
Yeah.
Because I know myself personally, I probably went in and out of depression. I'm 82 years old, probably 82 times. So, but anyway, the key thing is you seem to grow. If you can either use it as an anchor or use it as a float.
Right.
And this is how I look at you. You went over there to Iraq, you come back, and you're doing a business that is pleasing and comfortable to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought to you is, what do you look for in your future now?
So my goal is to be the company that always does the right thing, to basically the guy you call, the company you call to get something done when you don't want a hassle, when you don't want to deal with a headache,
Right.
when you don't want to
Deal with excuses.
deal with excuses, get taken advantage of. When you want to deal with a company that shoots straight, tells you exactly how it is. I shoot straight every single time. When I talk to people, it's going to probably take about 2 or 3 weeks to get it done. Based on where we're at right now, we're probably not going to be able to get to it till February. Whatever the case may be, always shooting straight. None of this.
It'll be done in January, but March is better.
Yeah. And see, I've never understood how people can do business that way. Just give people bad information. I'm always on the level. It's the way I like people to deal with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the way I deal with my customers, is I'm always on the level. I work within, whatever I can do to kind of help them, to make it easier for them. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
So your personal life now, we're going to get into that a little bit. How you doing in that? Aside from the business end, how's your personal life?
oh man, it's kicking and moving. Let me tell you.
Is that right? Good.
Well, I grew up in the Madera Ranchos, way back when it was nothing but a little island oasis out in the middle of nowhere. Used to catch frogs and things like that, and I've always preferred the simpler way of life. Now I live in Fresno. I got an older home here off of Ashland, just because you get a much bigger yard. And, so what I did is I brought the country over to me. I got a pond going back there.
Yes, I seen that.
Yeah. No koi pond either. I like some nice game fish.
Yeah, there
some,
you go.
Some bluegill, some bass, all the native fish species. Got some crawfish in there. It's always fun to watch them about and things like that. Got a chicken, got some backyard chickens back there as well.
couple of big dogs.
Yeah, a couple big dogs.
What's their names?
Oh, Duke and Luna. Yeah, they're big
Duke
old German.
and Luna?
Yeah, Duke and Luna.
Lula.
Luna.
Luna.
It means
Like a moon.
the moon. That's
Yes.
right in Spanish. Yeah.
Okay.
I got them both from the SPCA. They're great dogs.
All right.
They follow me around everywhere. I can walk them around
Yeah.
leashless. Chickens. I don't know if anyone has ever looked into chickens, but they can. Let me tell you, for inside pets, they can be very affectionate. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I can believe that.
You'd never think of it. Almost like a cat. The biggest thing with chickens, though, having them indoors is the waste byproducts.
Yeah.
But see, nowadays they sell diapers for chickens. They got the
You're
Velcro on
kidding.
them. Yeah. What you do is you put it over their head and put it on behind their wings. It doesn't bother them. You just let them loose in the house, and they'll relax. They won't run around, make a mess. They'll just relax with you on your lap on the couch. Oh, they'll nuzzle up to you. I've got some photos of a chicken is resting its head on mine.
Wow.
Yeah, and my girlfriend, she tells me, "Oh, you'll never be able to eat them now." I told her, "Well, I still eat chicken, but maybe not this one.
Not yours.
Not this one. This one I'll save for the eggs."
Yeah.
But it's a great comfort animal to have. I've always liked to have lots of animals. They really relax me. They help de-stress, I guess, reduce the anxiety,
Right.
all
Yes,
of that.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
I have a dog called Lulu.
Lulu.
Yeah, and she chews up everything in sight. I expect my garage to be gone when I get back home.
Oh man.
I'm gonna tell you what, but I understand what you're talking about. But she's so loving and caring.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't leave her by herself.
Mm-hmm.
She'll eat your house.
Mm-hmm.
And but I noticed your dogs, and they were pretty obedient and well groomed.
Yep. They know who the boss is, and they all that. That's one of the things is if you call me to give you a quote, an estimate on your remodel, everything like that, I always make friends with your animal. I love me a nice dog, nice cat.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I do particularly well with dogs. Sometimes people are surprised, like, oh wow, normally my dog runs away or barks or what have you, but there's just a certain thing about me, I guess, that animals tend to like.
Yeah, I love animals too, and
Mm-hmm.
my wife not so much. But anyway, it is so the personal aspect of your life actually affects your business type. I can tell that because your compassion for your personal life moves over into the business end of it.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't change. You're not mean in one area and good in another. If you're truly got a heart and is right,
Mm-hmm.
it's in personal and business. And that's what people need to know about. They need to know something about the person that's going to come in and be working in their home.
Mm-hmm. You just reminded me of something my girlfriend said. See, my girlfriend's from the Philippines. Over there, dogs are more guard animals. They're not quite pets. Certainly don't keep them inside. But she told me that I spoil all my animals. She says, you spoil all your animals. You got your chickens indoors with diapers sitting in front of the fire. If you got your dogs sleeping on the couches, even your fish in the fish pond, you buy them worms every week and dip them in there. He says, everything is spoiled. And I told her, that's right. That's just how I am. I also spoil her.
Yes.
I spoil my mom. And come to think of it, just because of what you just mentioned, I kind of like to think that I spoil my customers.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I love doing it. I really enjoy helping other people.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of making other people smile.
Right.
And it's not uncommon for me. I had a lady who, I was talking to her and her brother, replacing her tub with a shower. And we didn't do any business that day, but her brother was having a hard time replacing the lights. It was kind of like these bar lights in the kitchen. You know what I did? I took off my work shirt, my nice fancy shirt. I got up on that there step ladder and went up and I fixed it all. I fixed it for me. And he says, I've been trying to do it for 3 days, and it only took you about 20 seconds. And I said, I'm happy to do it. And you try to give me a 20. And I said, no, it's not.
It kind of takes away from the moment.
Yeah, I didn't want it, but they insisted.
Right.
He stuffed it in my bag,
Yeah.
and I kind of thought about sneaking it back and underneath the couch or something like that. You know, I'm just happy to do little things like that.
Well, see, that's exactly why my wife and I created Keys to Living. This is why you and I get along so well, is you have the same motivation as I did when I opened up Keys to Living. Keys to Living is helping somebody that, you know, a key to living could be just making somebody happy, you know, or turning their life around for a second even. You know, these people that, like we talked about Iraq, people come back without their limbs, you know, and instead of people looking at them like they're odd, they need to be looking at them like it's a joy because they gave up something so that we could still live like we're doing. Well, Keys to Living is the same way, only we usually deal with drug alcoholics or people that are just lost.
Yeah.
And see, and basically that's what you're talking about, because when you're in a business and when you go to talk to these people about putting in the bathrooms and whatever, they're lost. They don't know anything. They are counting on you. Now, if you're a crook, they're in trouble, especially if you're a smooth crook. But see, what I love about what I've seen and heard about you is that it always turns out to the good. You don't have to argue with them. Like you say, give it up if it's not going to work right, and help them all you can and go home.
Yeah. Like I said, I get a kick out of helping people.
That's right.
And, you know, just like you said, especially with the whole drug and alcohol thing, is I've seen people go through that. And, you know, when it really just comes down to it, is everybody just wants to be loved.
That's right. Exactly right.
And I feel like people that go through drug and alcohol, you know, there's a psychological aspect to it that what they're doing is they're self-medicating.
Right.
This is just what I've seen through my experiences. They're self-medicating because something either happened or is happening to where they just don't feel loved. You know, they don't feel appreciated. They don't feel like people care about them. And so what happens is when you turn to drugs and alcohol, you get that momentary euphoria.
Yes.
You feel like you've got everything you need. But the problem is once that high or that you sober up, it's gone, you go right back to, or even worse than where you started from.
That's exactly right.
And it's really only a temporary solution. I mean, really, the only way to permanently be happy is to just get your life in order, build that solid foundation, and you do that by forming relationships.
That's exactly right.
With good people. Don't form relationships with people that have the same issues, you know, because they're just going to encourage you to keep doing
There you go.
bad things, you know.
Yes.
You want to form relationships with people that are going to steer you the right direction, people that care about you. You know, church is a great place to meet, you know, good people that are going to keep you on the right path. I like to think that I'm one of these people that you know, people can turn to, you know.
Right. If you talk to and relate to. Well, you know what I see drugs as? They can't live in reality. If they just can't deal with reality. Like you said, they either lost a loved one, you know, when you lose you know, I lost a son, so I know what it is to lose something special. I lost two brothers, and so we know what that can do one or two things for you. It can either drive you to the craziness of drugs or alcohol, or it can say, all right, there's nothing I can do about this. I need to go on. I need to love those that are left and let people love me. You know, it's not all, loving somebody isn't so spectacular it is as allowing somebody to love you.
Yes.
See, sometimes we can't open ourselves up enough because we feel vulnerable.
Yes.
So what I tell people is, hey, get into reality. The reality is when you're dead, nothing happens. But if you're still alive, anything can happen. And that's why my sermon next week, 2 weeks from now, is going to be on there's never a reason to give up.
Right.
Never.
Right. And you know, you bring on a good point about loving and being loved.
That's right.
And I'm going to bring this up because you know, you see this a lot, especially with you know, you got the TikToks and the Instagram
God,
models
yes,
and all this other
yes.
type of thing. All right, so when people love you for the way you look, right, in your
man.
pictures, you know, you're showing the revealing clothes and all that.
Yes.
That's not love, or they're giving you attention for the wrong things. See, and it goes the same for men too.
Yes,
is
exactly.
You know, say you're a guy that's got a lot of money, and you know, you're buying this young gal or whoever, you know, a bunch of things, and real love, you shouldn't have to do something for somebody or be something that you're really not in
Right.
order for them to love you.
Right.
And that's something that I learned throughout my life is when I was younger, I used to think, and this could have something to do with my dad passing away of cancer when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
My mom was left a single mother, so she was never around. You know, she had to work 2 and 3 jobs. So, you know, me and my sisters had to essentially raise ourselves. But I got it in my head somehow from a very young age after that the only way anybody can ever love me is if I
Had something.
had something, if I performed, if I proved myself.
Yes.
So, you know, that could be good and bad, you know, in terms of work. You know, I'm the guy that's going to work the hardest. I'm the guy that's going to, you know, do this, and that, and is going to get all the high
Right.
ranking stuff. But the problem is that if that's all people love me for, that's a superficial love. You know, as soon as you have a bad day, you get sick or what have you, or you want to take a break, you go from hero to zero.
Yeah.
You know, and so what I learned was that real love is when somebody loves you, warts and all your
That's
flaws.
it. Exactly.
You know, and you have to be capable of loving others exactly how they are. So one of the things with this relationship I'm with now with my girlfriend is hey, you know, if you're not in the mood to go out to dinner tonight, or if you don't want to do something, you know, just you don't have to do it.
There you go.
You know, you don't have to. You know, I appreciate you doing the dishes and sweeping up, but do it because you want to, not because you feel you have to.
There you go.
And you know what that does for me personally is her knowing this, that it's a choice, and still choosing to do it. It makes me feel that much more special because she's doing it because she wants to, not
Yes.
because she feels like she has
That's
to.
right. My wife has been that way since the day we was married. Is the same way. She's very opinionated, and she'll tell me when she did. But you know what? She, for some odd reason, she loves me without question, and has for 38 years.
That's the right kind of love right there.
And so, you know, and I haven't always been kind to her, but man, I love her with all my heart.
Yeah.
But that's the key. And I'm always doing something for her. I love to make her happy.
Yeah.
I do. And she loves to make me happy.
See, that's why you're my cup of tea, because you do things for the sake of just the happiness part,
yes,
right?
it's all good. What's
Yeah.
life about if you don't?
Right, exactly. What is that verse in the Bible that Jesus said? You're going to know the one I'm talking about, where he says, "What does it matter?" Something along the lines of this. What is the goal of acquiring the whole world if you lose
the love? And see, the key thing there, he said, don't worry about the things you wear. Don't worry about how much finances you've got. Don't worry about that, because that's nothing compared to the love. That's why I created you.
Yep. Basically, in a nutshell, yep, that's exactly what he said. He says, basically, in a nutshell, he says, what is the point of acquiring the whole world if you lose your soul in the process of getting it?
Yes.
And what would you give in order to get your soul back? You
Yeah,
give
that's right.
everything you just acquired in the first place. I think it was right after the rich man said,
Yeah.
Jesus, what do I have to do to,
Yeah,
be with you in heaven?
he took a hike because he had too much money.
Yeah, he says, sell everything you got, and he
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
No, he loved them things.
Yeah, yeah.
But see, here's what I say is, when I done funerals, I've done many, many, many funerals, and I said, how much would you give for 10 more minutes with your loved one? How much money would you give? And most of them would say, I'd give everything just to have, because you don't know what you've lost until a loved one dies.
Right.
Now, I said, but that's impossible. No money in the whole world would buy back any time for them or bring them back to life. So what does that make money worth?
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
Right.
Because love is the thing that keeps us going, and if we don't have it, we're done.
Right.
We're WTD, waiting to die.
That's right.
And that's it. Mike, how much time we got left? I lost it here. We just having a good time.
About 12 minutes.
Oh, man, we can do 12 minutes. Okay. But anyway, tell us something that you want us to know about Moses Medina.
Oh, well, when you invite me into your home, not only will you get, I'm gonna guide you in the best way possible that I know how as far as business is concerned, and anything else I can do to kind of help, make your day better, make it easier, I'm gonna do it. You'll have my personal contact number, and everything like that. And I really enjoy working with people that are like-minded, like me and like Herb. Not to say that if you're having a rough day, I wouldn't talk to you. Like I said, we're all human, and
That's right.
we all have our moments and everything like that. But yeah, I'm very family orientated, animal
Yes, I know
orientated, that
yeah.
kind of thing. And yeah, I was just talking earlier about TikTok and Instagram and all
yes.
that.
Oh, God.
And I feel like nowadays a lot of people worry about the future of this country or what
Yes.
have you. And no, there's no doubt about that. There's always plenty to be worried about. But a lot of people, what we should do is just pause and take a moment to be thankful for the things that we do have.
That's right.
It's like, you know what, World War III might pop off in Eastern Europe or something like that, but I'm going to enjoy the time that I have here on this earth, spend time with my girlfriend, with my family, with my dogs. I'm going to be good to people. I mean, if you knew exactly when your day would come,
You'd be worthless.
right. Well, what I'm saying is, if you knew exactly when your time would come that you're going to, pass away or what have you, I mean, how would you want to spend that time? Would you want to spend your last remaining, year, 10 years, 5 years, whatever amount of time you have left? Do you want to spend it worrying, stressing out, being angry all the time?
Right, yeah.
Or are you going to spend it, just loving everybody, loving yourself, just being good to people, and it's less about how you want to be remembered, I think, and it's more about just being good to yourself. In my opinion, being good to other people is being good to yourself.
That's right.
As selfless as that sounds, it is kind of selfish.
It is true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But see, here's the way I look at I'm 82 years old, so I'm looking at the end somewhere down there, but I could live to be whatever. 100, I think the oldest guy's 125. So I've got that goal to look at.
I
which
could die
don't-
tomorrow on the way home and driving from home.
That's right. But see, here's the thing. In order to die peacefully, you have to live in peace.
Mm-hmm.
If you are miserable and you are putting everybody down, you're arguing with everybody that comes into your life, you know, it's my way or the highway. Number one, you're going to die alone.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, you're going to die miserable.
But just being that way, doesn't it eat you up inside?
Oh my God!
I had a period in my 20s where I was kind of like that, right? I was just this negative, angry person, you know, and you think that, you know, or at least I thought that I was up there, but really it eats you up inside, doesn't it?
It keeps you miserable. This is what Satan would love to keep inside of you. I mean, I know that feeling because I've been there and done that. Just not too long ago, man, I woke up to the fact that I was a miserable, angry person. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at how I'd been treating my wife, and I said, oh, my God, I'm treating the best thing that ever happened to me the worst way possible. So I had to go to her and tell her, hey, I woke up to the fact that I'm dumb and stupid and treating you terrible. And I had to turn that around.
Humility.
Yeah, oh, gosh, yeah, and that's hard sometimes. Mm-hmm. But here's the key.
Sometimes we need a good kick in the behind.
That's right.
And God, if He loves you, He'll more than happily
put
provide
right
it. Yeah, that's right. And it's an act of love, is what it is.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
It brings you back from the edge.
That's right.
You know,
it brings you into the reality. Here's well, since 2017 or 18, God gave me this. Every time I preach, anywhere I preach, it's about the reality of God. Mm-hmm. Now, there's the reality of life, and then there's a reality of God. Reality of life is you could get offended every moment, every day.
Oh, there's plenty to get.
And there's plenty to get. But if you don't allow the reality of the world to make you miserable, you allow the love of God to make you blessed and at peace.
That's right.
And see, but you have to be open to that.
Yes.
It doesn't come automatic. Like people say, oh, well, I said amen, I should be blessed.
Nope.
No, it says you open up and say, Lord, I want all the blessings you got.
You just said the key thing right there. That's opening up. So that's how you get. That's how you get started. You bring them walls down.
Absolutely.
Open up your heart. It might hurt at first. It might make you feel vulnerable at first. But guess what? Once you've accepted Him into your heart,
it's done.
You've learned to let go of your worldly self.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Well, see, you've got to learn something in life. Sometimes your relatives are worse than your enemies.
Sometimes they are your enemies.
They are. but they call them relatives, so yeah, you got to hang on to family. No, you don't. No, you don't. Mm-hmm. Because if they're taking you down, you need to cut them loose. If they need to be back in your life, God will bring them back in. You can't heal it. The more you try to tell people how right you are, the more wrong they'll think you do. Yeah, go ahead. No.
I was gonna add to that is I've experienced this myself. Sometimes people need to learn the hard way before they can begin healing.
That's right.
You know, sometimes people need to be taken down a couple notches before they can begin healing, and it's not necessarily up to you to bring them down a couple notches. You let God do that.
That's right.
And then once they've become more humble, then you accept them with open arms.
Exactly right. Mm-hmm. And see, the more you try, the worse it gets.
Yep, don't push them away.
Because number one, and it's like I try to tell them in the churches, the relatives that are not saved, I say, number one, the more you try to get them in church, the more they're going to pull away. Mm-hmm. You need to turn them loose, give them to God, and get on with your life and quit messing with theirs.
Just remember to leave that door open.
That's exactly right. You got to leave doors open.
And leave the light on so that they can come find you.
Yeah, so they can see you.
When they're ready. That's right.
That's right. Okay, we got 5 minutes, and we're going to do something spectacular. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure Moses is going to tell us in a minute.
But
I know there's something that I really wanted to know, but I can't think about it, so it must not have been worth it. So just tell us something. We got 5 minutes. I'm gonna turn that over to you.
All right. Well, personal wise, more or less on the line of what we've been talking.
Yeah.
You know, with this situation in the Ukraine,
Yes.
how they're taking volunteers. When they first started accepting, I actually submitted an application.
Oh, wow.
It was more of an instinct thing
Right,
because
yes.
I wanted to fulfill that calling of going over there and trying to help people and things like
Right.
that. I don't know. I mean, when I see them civilians, you know, just regular old people, I mean, they're just like you and me. And think about how blessed we are in this country.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
God, yes.
you can wake up in the morning without having to worry that your electricity and your heat's going to get bombed out.
Exactly right.
You don't have to worry about a missile coming through your roof. You don't have to worry about any of those things. You know, and we really are blessed here in the U.S. You know, we need to be more thankful for the things we've got. You know, I've been over there to Ukraine when I was in the Army in 2010, and let me tell you, I mean, a lot of those villages aren't even to the level we were in the 40s. I mean,
Wow.
I'm talking brick buildings with no insulation, outhouses. You know, no cars to speak of. It's just muddy and things like that.
Did they have any Fresnos or Friscos or anything like that?
Oh, well, they've got their big cities like Lviv. That's where I was at, Lviv
Yeah,
and
okay.
Kiev. But even those, I mean, is full of potholes and things like that. So, I mean, places like that really make me grateful for.
Oh, yes.
We really are all truly blessed to live here in the U.S. We need to be more grateful for what we've got.
That's what I'd say.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to go over there. Never heard back from them. So, you know, it's in God's hands. If if I'd heard back from them, then maybe I was meant to go over there,
Yeah.
or maybe they just didn't like the cut of my jib. Whatever the case may be.
They say, well, we don't need any remodeled bathrooms over here.
Yeah, well,
They do.
we're getting bathrooms blown up, not built. I'm just kidding. That's
Yes, I understand.
But yeah, no, that, like I said, I just put it in God's hands, and
There you go.
if he needs me here, then this is where I'm going to be.
If this is where I need to go, he'll let me know.
That's right.
That's exactly. And that's what everybody needs to know. Turn loose of the crap that these people are giving. I don't care whether they're Democrats or Republicans, independent or whatever. Think for yourself. Let God, let go of all the ignorance, and let God deal with your life. Moses, thank you for coming on here today. I am blessed with everything that was said, and it's just been a joy. And so we're going to sign off. So just tell them goodbye and let's go.
Goodbye. God bless all of you. And
Yes.
have
God
a Merry
bless
Christmas.
all of you. Yes.